Hey there everyone, welcome back to another optimization video, and today we'll be having a look at the medium. So we have a larger HUD than usual for the graphics information because this is an optimization video, and the question that's probably first on your head is, if this is an optimization video, why doesn't the FPS show 60? Because quite frankly, this game will never hit 60 when split screening, and we'll have a look at the disparity while split screening and not having the split screen between the spirit world and the real world. So first off, I'd like to start off by justifying my inclusion of ray tracing in what would be optimized settings. I mean, why is that? That doesn't make sense. You want to like get out as much performance as possible. Well, the thing is, the difference between ray tracing on and off here, because most of the reflections are SSR anyway, is basically 48 FPS versus 51 FPS. And for the gain visuals that you get, that 3 FPS difference is not worth it, and it just does not justify turning it off, especially when when like you don't have split screen. The performance is always over 60, so it just doesn't make sense turning it off. Furthermore, you'll notice that all the settings, almost all of them, are at medium except the very specific effects, and that's because the very specific effects don't really lead to much of a performance loss. And good news is medium looks pretty good anyway. So my conclusion from looking at all of this and playing it through, this game definitely requires some sort of dynamic settings option like in Forza Horizon 3, and I think it was President 4 as well. So because the issue is that when split screen is off, you have significantly more FPS than you'd likely need in a slow-paced horror game. You get way over 60, and you'd rather have that spent on high quality DLSS or higher quality shaders, higher quality effects, the base quality increase, whatever. It's better to have dynamic options in such a way that when you get into the split screen mode, the settings automatically lower themselves to whatever you set them, whereas when you get out of it, the settings automatically bump themselves up, so you can get a more even, consistent experience, which would just make more sense visually as well. So in terms of non-engine, quote-unquote non-engine optimizations, that's the only thing that we can really hope for and recommend, and hopefully they find some way of implementing that, although I'm not really sure if Unreal Engine 4 does support that. Also, I would just like to point out that I do not believe that the split screen view or anything like that is actually technically unoptimized, at least for the 2060 Super. You see full utilization of the GPU, you see good utilization of the CPU. The stutters are only due to the hard drive, which is a major bottleneck. So I really don't think there's any engine optimization that needs to be done. Perhaps a few new tricks, such as the dynamic options that I suggested. But other than that, I don't really think anything else is possible. Because the FPS is basically almost exactly half of what you get without split screen, which makes a lot of sense because the GPU is essentially running 2 games at once, and when ray tracing is on, it basically has 2 BVA structures running at once, which not only stresses the GPU but also the CPU, and you do see a linear increase in CPU utilization with that. So it all lines up, it all makes sense, and accordingly I would say that at least for the 2060 Super, I don't see any optimization issues on the part of the game. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
None of them good.